You can't allow yourself to be an option for people. And I'm going to tell you exactly how not to let that happen. Because I found myself 2 times this week where I allowed myself to be an option for somebody else, not just in romantic relationships or personal or business, but 2 separate ways that I caught myself and it was too late. And when I realized what I was doing, I was like, fuck. Sometimes when you know better, you don't always do better. And you still fuck some shit up, even if you study and talk about this for years and teach other people this stuff. So I'm going to teach you what I did so that you don't do it. Well, last week I had an issue with someone and I gave them the benefit of the doubt. And initially I set a really good boundary. I said no. I said, if you're not 100% in, if it's not a fuck yeah, it's a no. And then I said the next day, 24 hours later, I said, look, I think I acted out of ego. I'll give you some time and space to talk. How about we sit down and talk over here, right, for an hour? And so we did. And I sat there and I let this person just go hit after hit after hit on me about this situation that we're having. And I didn't really stand up for myself. And I didn't really say, if it's not a fuck yeah, it's a no. If you're not 100% committed, then I'm going to walk. And I kind of just allowed this person to say all of the things. And I heard this person say things, right? We should work on this by ourselves, and then maybe we can do this, and then maybe we can do that. And I heard all of the makings of this person not want to commit to the thing that we were talking about doing. And their actions and their words weren't aligning, and I could see that very, very clearly. Now, as I drink my coffee from my Batman cup, now, what I ended up doing is I ended up allowing them to have their cake and to eat it too, right? To take time and space to think about it while they're going and doing a bunch of things that I wish I was also doing with them this weekend. And now I left defeated and I left without setting a proper boundary. And guess who's upset? Me. Because I didn't hold to my boundaries of, hey, if it's not a fuck yeah, it's a no. If you can't do this, then I'm going to walk because I respect myself too much. I gave this person their cake and eat it too. Hey, have time, go have fun doing these things without me. And then whenever you're ready, just let me know, right? Why? Why did I do that? I don't know. I think sometimes when we have an emotional attachment to another person, it brings us a level of suffering that we're not really able to see through clearly. I think it absorbs us in a way where it calms us down, and our emotional attachment means that, we are willing to sacrifice our boundaries for that person because we think that's the right thing to do. And it's actually not. In hindsight, I wish I held to my boundaries, said, hey, I value myself and my time. And if you are going to waste it by needing to think about this, then this isn't the right situation for either one of us. I wish I did that. I didn't. So that's your lesson to learn, is stop making that mistake. I turned into a nice guy because I cared about that person. I didn't want to hurt that person's feelings. We were in a public environment. It was Friday after work. I had some big exams yesterday that I had to pass. And I was just like, I was at the end of my rope. I was tired. I was hungry. I got like 3.5 hours of sleep because I was studying so much yesterday. So I basically gave into my boundaries. Second situation, I was supposed to hang out and go do something with someone else. But this person was waiting to hear from their friend group to see if they were going to go out, or the friend group that was closer was going to do it. I said, cool, no worries, just let me know. Super casual, right? We do that kind of thing all the time. Now, what ended up happening was this person was like, they're taking so long, let's go do this thing, right? And I was like, cool, sweet, see you soon. And then I got a text 45 minutes later when that person was supposed to be on their way or arriving. And they said, actually, they just hit me up. They hit me up late. I'm going to go with them and do this. When people are uncommittal to you, or people make plans with you, but then they double back, or people say they're going to do one thing, but then they end up doing another, that's showing you who they are. That means that they're not choosing you and they're choosing to do another thing, because the pain versus pleasure principle is in effect, meaning that people will do everything they can to avoid pain and then everything they can to seek out pleasure. Later, the person texted me saying, I have this issue with my car. It's probably best that I don't drive that far, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, they drive for work all the time. Like, getting a nail in your tire fixed is easy as going to anywhere. You can go to Walmart. You can go to AutoZone and do this. But I decided not to respond. Just said, okay, right? Because now that person has showed me who they are. And I don't need that person's attention, or I don't need to spend time with that person anyway, because someone who doesn't choose me, I'm not going to choose that person as well. Live your life like this. If it's not a fuck yeah, it's a no. Hit me up if you want one-on-one coaching, but hopefully these 2 stories carry you and teach you something about setting boundaries and walking away. It's better to spend time alone and like that time then spend it with people who don't choose you. All right? See you in the next one.